I'd like to reconvene to open session at 7:01 p.m. Moving on to item 5, Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Gamboa, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving on to item 6, roll call. Roll call will reflect that all board members and cabinet are present. Moving on to item 6.1, Superintendent Kelly May Vollmer.
Thank you. Sorry, I jumped the gun there. We are very excited to have our newest student board member from Amistad High School with us this morning. So welcome, Zoe Gamboa. Lovely to have you here. I want to just tell you a little bit about Zoe. Zoe considers one of the highlights of her educational experience her opportunity to join the cheer team and be a leader as the Raja mascot when she was attending Indio High School, and then in her second year becoming a cheerleader on the squad. She enjoys dancing and cooking, going to the gym, yoga, shopping, eating out, and learning new things for herself. And something unique about herself is she said that she is brave and bold and that she can be straight up when responding to people when necessary, which I think is fantastic. All right, so if you would like to join me down in front, we will do the oath of office.
Very nice. Is there any family members with you, Zoe, that you'd like to recognize?
My principal, my ASB teacher, Ms. Para, I love her. And I wasn't sure who else, but I didn't invite any of my parents. It's just me. So.
All right. Oh, glad to have you. Okay. Moving on to item 7, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 20th, 2022? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of September 20th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? This motion carries. We're moving on to item 8, Board Meeting Addenda. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer, is there any addenda to tonight's agenda?
No, there is not.
Perfect. Thank you. Item number 9, approval of agenda. Item 9.1, agenda of the regular meeting of October 11th, 2022. Is there a motion to approve this agenda? So moved. Is there a second?
Oh, I second that motion. Zoe Gamboa. Sorry.
It has been approved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with one preferential vote. Moving on to item 10, community staff and student recognition. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, I'd like to invite our Public Information Officer, Mary Perry, to the podium.
Thank you very much. I want to start by saying, Zoe, I didn't recognize you out of costume. So Zoe was on stage with us at the college fair on Thursday night as the Amistad Eagle. So thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. So I have one item tonight, and I have really big congratulations to the film and broadcasting students at Palm Desert High School. Yay! They have won a silver award in what's called the W3 Awards. And this is a competition among professional organizations that produce websites and podcasts and videos and social media marketing materials. Sounded really familiar to me. And the video category that they were entered in is a competition among college students and professionals. And if you look at the screen, this is actually the video that they produced on behalf of the Oasis Music Festival in Palm Springs. That is their award winner. So under the direction of now retired teacher Joe Martin, and with help from now teacher, and I'm going to say this right because I'm Canadian, and it's André Grandmet. And he has been working with a group of Palm Desert High School students to work with Palm Springs Life and, as I said, the Oasis Musical Festival. You can also find this on YouTube and the PDHS Aztec TV channel. So unfortunately, the students whose names I'm going to call out are not here this evening. None of them could be with us, but we're certainly hoping that they're watching at home or will watch again later on tonight or tomorrow. But I do have 3 Palm Desert High School staff members who I'm going to ask to stand while I read the names of the students. So, André Grandmet, if you would please stand. Principal Sarit Saig. Do I say your last name right? Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure. And Assistant Principal Mandy Wiltrout. So the names of the students. Please bring back everyone's congratulations to the students. And they are Dylan Foley, Emma Harvey, Crystal Field, Tamara Garcia, Jordan Johnson, Hayden Smith, Fernando Gutierrez, Emiliano Martinez, and Jason Ward. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to item 11, introduction of new or recently promoted employees. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, Dr. Hyde.
Good evening, everyone. I have a number of introductions, but I'd like to just see is Kayla here? Okay, Kayla's running a little bit late, so I'm probably going to save her for last. She actually has an after-work job, too. So I'd like to welcome Javier Duenas, our new Supervisor of Custodial Services, up to the dais. Javier, come on up, please. Javier attended Frederick College, where he earned 60 Federal Emergency Management Agency units, FEMA units. His current educational plans include earning his Associates of Arts degree in Business Management from College of the Desert. Javier has worked for the Desert Sands for the last 17 years and has held positions as a custodian, central lead custodian, and now as a supervisor of custodial services. He holds many certifications as a trainer, operator, and handler. Javier is very family-oriented. He enjoys traveling, watching soccer live or on TV, reading, walking, and exercising. He would like to acknowledge his wife, Graciela, and his son, Javier, who have supported him throughout his career. Welcome, Javier. Please introduce your family and say a few words.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to everybody first. And then I've been here for 17 years doing my best. And believe me, I want to keep doing my best all the time to keep this district as the best district in the whole valley. My wife, I want to thank my wife, I want to thank my bosses, I want to thank everybody for this opportunity. And believe me, I want to do my best.
Welcome. Congratulations. So next, I'm excited to introduce Meredith Greenwood, the new assistant principal at Desert Ridge Academy. Meredith, come on up. So Meredith earned her Bachelor's of Science degree in Sociology from Eastern Connecticut State University and her Master of Arts in Educational Administration and Curriculum Instruction from Brandman University. She has been an educator in Desert Sands for over 20 years. In 2019, she received the Bilingual Education Succeeding Together Award for Site Support Employee of the Year. Meredith volunteers and supports nonprofit animal rescue organizations throughout the Coachella Valley. She enjoys traveling, entertaining, and reading. This evening, she would like to acknowledge her mother, daughter, friends, and this I can say is the first time I've said this, her beloved dogs, Pippa and Stella, who have supported her throughout the years. Welcome. Please introduce your guests and say a few words, Meredith.
Thank you. I'm very excited about this opportunity, and I have a few people in the audience, so thank you. My mom, my friends, my colleagues. I'm really looking forward to this year. I'm already at home, so it just seems to be perfect that I'm the assistant principal at Desert Ridge Academy. Thank you.
I'm pleased to introduce Jay Harper, the new assistant principal at John Glenn Middle School. Jay, come on up, please. Jay earned his bachelor's degree in earth science at Western Washington University. He completed his master's degree in curriculum instruction with a GATE emphasis from Cal State San Bernardino. He is now in his 23rd year at Desert Sands, and though he did take a one-year hiatus to work at a dual immersion IB school in Costa Rica. That sounds really interesting. Over the years, he has earned multiple Teachers of the Year awards at John Glenn. Jay loves the outdoors, and in order to keep up with the pace of his kids, he plays and coaches multiple soccer teams in the Valley. Jay would like to acknowledge his wife, Kristen, who has worked at Truman Elementary for 23 years, and their two boys, Micah and Cade, who currently attend La Quinta High School. Again, Jay, congratulations, welcome. Please introduce your guests and say a few words.
Well, the only guest I invited was my wife, so thanks for showing up, honey. Would have been awkward without you. No, but I've had the privilege of opening up John Glenn back in 2001, and it's actually been the second home, decorated by my wife, of course. But it's truly an honor and a pleasure to continue serving the kids of our valley. So I appreciate it.
Congratulations. So I'd like to introduce Carlos Montiel, the site manager for nutrition services. Carlos, please come forward. Carlos earned his Associates of Arts degree in Culinary Arts from the Le Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Arts in Los Angeles. He has 13 years of professional kitchen experience, nearly 5 years in distribution, and another 5 years in central kitchen and warehouse operations, which allowed him to develop a leadership style that is adaptive and inclusive. Carlos enjoys camping and spending time outdoors with his family. He would like to acknowledge and thank his wife, Susie, and his kids, Alexia and Evan. Welcome, and please say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Hyde. I'm humbled for the opportunity to continue to grow professionally and, more important, to continue to serve our student body. Tonight, I'm joined by my wife, Susie, my daughter, Alexia, and my son, Evan, who, as Adriana knows, they are my biggest critics. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations. And I am equally and selfishly happy to introduce the next person on our list, and that's Dr. Rudy Wilson, the district's new Resolution and Compliance Officer. Dr. Wilson earned his bachelor's degree in architecture from the University of Southern California. He also earned his master's degree in educational administration from Cal State San Bernardino and his doctorate in organizational leadership for the University of Laverne. He is now in his 33rd year in education, having served as a teacher and an administrator in elementary, middle, and high schools. Outside of his family and USC football, Rudy enjoys working in his shop on classic cars. His current inventory consists of a 1970 Challenger, a 1970 Chevelle, a 72 Cutlass, and a 68 Coronet. He states that his greatest accomplishment is his 25 years of marriage to his beautiful wife, who is also a teacher for another district. Together, they have seen all 4 of their children graduate from Desert Sands Unified Schools. Welcome and congratulations, Rudy. Please introduce your guests and say a few words.
I would like to first introduce my wife, Esther. Without her support, I would not be here, nor would my 4 cars be in my shop. And I had the opportunity to pull an old friend out of retirement, and she's here tonight, Mary Velasco, who is the interim principal at La Quinta High School, and that gives me great pleasure to say that. And then, of course, someone that I had the opportunity to hire at La Quinta, one of my former assistant principals, Nicole Aguirre. I will say it is an absolute pleasure to be at the district office, and in a very short period of time, I feel like I found a second home outside of La Quinta. The personnel department is a fantastic place to work, and Dr. Hyde has been incredibly professional and welcoming, so I'm looking forward to doing all the good work in the district, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Rudy, congratulations. All right, I'm going to shift because I think Kayla made it. So if I could introduce Kayla Bonafidi, our new mental health therapist. Kayla, come on up. So Kayla earned her bachelor's degree in psychology and master's degree in clinical counseling psychology from the California State University at San Bernardino. She has worked as a marriage and family therapist throughout the Inland Empire and Coachella Valley over the last 5 years, and most recently working with Riverside County Latino Commission at Coachella Valley Unified School District. Kayla is a Coachella Valley native and a product of Desert Sands Unified School District. She enjoys spending her free time with her family, riding horses, and hiking. She would like to acknowledge Maria and John Bonafide this evening. Welcome. Please say a few words, Kayla, and maybe introduce your guests.
So I did not bring anyone today because I told everyone, stay home, stay home. I don't want to be embarrassed. So I have no one but I have such a wonderful foundation at home, my mom and dad, who you announced. But I'm so excited to, be a part of Desert Sands. I am a native of the Coachella Valley and Desert Sands Unified, so hopefully I can bring my knowledge and the wealth of ideas that I have to the students here. So thank you so much.
And last but certainly not least, I'd like to welcome and introduce Mandy Wiltrout, the new assistant principal at Palm Desert High School. Mandy earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in Liberal Studies from Cal State San Bernardino and her Master's of Arts in Educational Counseling from Azusa Pacific University. She's in her 22nd year in education, the last 16 years here at Desert Sands. I would like to just add a little bit. This isn't Mandy's first experience as an assistant principal. She spent, I think, 5 years as an assistant principal, maybe 5 years plus at John Glenn. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, more closer to 8.
Oh, I'm off a little bit. I was an English major. So thanks, Mandy. I appreciate you being so gentle.
Hey, you opened the door.
When I was so completely wrong. But so 8 years. So we're really excited that she's joining the admin team at Palm Desert. I think they're very lucky to have her. I'd like to also enjoy that she enjoys beach trips and river trips, hiking, watching sports, and spending time with her 3 sons.
Yes, go Niners.
Welcome. So Mandy, again, please, if you'd like to say a few words and maybe introduce any guests that are here with you.
Okay, well, like Kayla, I did not invite anybody to come, but I have a great foundation of support at home. But I would like to thank the board members, Dr. May Volmer, Cabinet, for the opportunity to continue to serve in Desert Sands. And I am extremely proud to be an assistant principal at Palm Desert High School and to serve that community. And I would like to thank my principal, Ms. Seg, for her support and being here tonight. So thank you. Thank you all.
And thank you. And we're going to go backwards a little bit. Dr. May Vollmer?
Yes, thank you. We noticed that one of our students showed up, and so I'd like to invite Mary Perry back up to the podium really quick so that we can face-to-face acknowledge his great accomplishment.
I'm so excited because I feel really badly that we had this incredibly terrific documentary and no students to say yay to. So could you please identify yourself and talk about how you came to produce this really great documentary, okay? Here's the microphone. You have to speak to the microphone.
Okay. So, basically, my name is Fernando Gutierrez. Nice to meet you guys. Creating this film was, it had like a lot of, I was like very excited to create this, going into like, inside places I wouldn't normally go to, and it just like meeting like the singers there as well, recording their concerts, how like they acted, and how I got to like meet and talk with them as well. Also like learning different things about filming and actually being hands-on with it. Also with like editing like the different angles and all that. It just felt very, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of scared right now.
Okay.
Honestly, just the whole experience just felt amazing. Just learning everything I did in that project, it's really going to change what I do in the future.
I just asked him where he was in high school, and he's a 12th grader. So we're going to expect great things next year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to ask the board for any comments they might have on the student recognitions or the new or recently promoted employees. Ms. Gamboa, do you have any comments?
I have no comments at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Pierce?
Well, I'm definitely going to check out this Oasis Music Festival documentary. It looks really great. And I think Mr. Gutierrez, was it? What was your first name? Fernando Gutierrez. Okay. Thank you for coming to represent your other students. I think that must have been an amazing experience. And I guess I just go on YouTube and look up Oasis Music Festival documentary. Yeah, send the link. Okay, that'll be great. And I also would like to welcome and congratulate all the new personnel that Dr. Hyde mentioned. Meredith I've known, and I congratulate her on being an AP at DRA, and Mr. Harper, Jay. I met him up in Monterey at a school board thing we were at to honor John Glenn for one of their accomplishments. And I'm going to move down to Costa Rica to the equine facility that his mother runs. One day I'm going to be down there living at least part-time, so I'm looking forward to that. And just everybody else that's been promoted, I would like to congratulate them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pierce, or Ms. Porras?
Yeah, I just want to say, Javier, congratulations on your promotion to supervisor for custodian. We would be nowhere without custodians, right? A very important job, so it is awesome, awesome. Congratulations. And Meredith, I love that you're a dog rescuer. That is just so amazing. And our puppies are our family, so I totally agree with that. And Jay, wow, that's so awesome, Jay. That's so you are John Glenn. I mean, I can't imagine you being somewhere else. So congratulations on that. You're just going to do an awesome job, I know. And Carlos, wow, your heart and soul is in nutrition. You can totally tell. So, and Cordon Bleu, that's great. My youngest son, took the culinary program at COD, and then he decided he doesn't want to cook for other people. So he just wants to cook for me, which I'm fine with. And Rudy Wilson, I'm just over the moon, so excited for you. I've known you for so many years, and you're a dear friend of mine. And Esther, I'm so happy to see you. I hardly ever get to see you anymore. And we still love that district that you're working for, so it's okay that you're there. But anyway, congratulations. I'm going to be so excited to get to see you here. You're going to be at the district office, so congratulations on that. And Kayla, is it Kayla? Kayla? Did I say it wrong? Kayla, sorry. Anyways, yeah, we need therapists. I mean, that is like so important right now, especially for our kids and everybody, so congratulations on your job, and you're going to do awesome. And Mandy, when you said go Niners, that just like so cracked me up. My son-in-law is a Niners fan, so. But anyway, congratulations on your promotion, so thank you.
Superintendent Dr. May Wilmer.
Just a real quick ad, in addition to what everyone else has already said. Congratulations to everyone. It's very special to see so many people being promoted from within and growing and getting greater responsibility. And certainly, Kayla, we love having our alumni come back and work for us. That is equally as special. So congratulations to everyone.
I want to just ditto congratulations to everybody. I know that while we are promoting from within, which is awesome, it also kind of leaves a little domino effect. I know, Rudy, you're going to be really missed at La Quinta. We are already hearing that quite a bit. So congratulations to everybody, and Zoe, it's good to have you on the board with us. Okay, and moving on to item number 12, informational items. Number 1, Indio High School's Future Farmers of America participation in the 95th National FFA Convention and Expo in Indianapolis, Indiana. They'll be there from October 24th through the 30th. Wishing them safe travels. And I'll just wait a few minutes and let everybody escape. Awesome. All right, moving on to item 2, quarterly report summary on Williams Uniform complaints, July through September 2022. There were no findings. And item 13, staff conference item. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer, turning it over to you.
All right, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Wood.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. I'd like to introduce a couple of people up to the podium for our Avid presentation tonight. Our Director of College and Career Readiness, Kevin Bebo, and our project facilitator of our Avid and Gate program, Dr. Carrie Penny.
Thank you, Board and Cabinet. Very excited to be here, and we've got great representation of our Avid staff for Desert Sands here as well, so excited to have them in the house to cheer us on. We're here to share about the progress in the Avid program here in Desert Sands, and we're going to start with a short video clip from one of our elementary schools where the kids are going to get a chance to tell you in their own words.
Maybe.
We're on mute.
At James Monroe, Avid helps us become a place where our journey to college starts in kindergarten, where all students are encouraged to dream. Because we all aim high and always try to work together to get better and speak like scholars. Because scholars set goals and work hard at achieving them. We cheer for our success. Home run! And we feel proud of the organizational skills we will keep for life. Our Avid Finder and agenda make it easier to share all we've learned with our families, so they can be proud of us too. Let's hear what our students have to say.
Dream, Kyle?
My dream is to go to college and then work for Elon Musk, and then try to be the first person on Mars.
Well, my dream is to go to college and become an artist.
No matter what you dream, Avid gives us the skills to aim high and achieve it.
And now it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. Carrie Penny.
Thank you. So you just heard student voice, and student voice is so important, and it screams loud, almost as loud as the number that you see up there, 10,275. And you're probably wondering, what are we celebrating? Well, elementary numbers have increased tremendously. We have 7,120 elementary students at our 12 Avid elementary sites this year. In secondary, we have 1,676 middle school students that are enrolled in the Avid elective, and out of those, 699 are sixth graders who chose to be in Avid as their elective. 78 high school students are enrolled in the Avid elective. And out of our secondary numbers, this is super exciting, 665 English language learners, 47 gifted students, and 196 special education students. Okay, I'm giving in to 50. It's time to go get them. The numbers are really exciting when we talk about students, but these numbers are even exciting just on their own. We have just under 400 Desert Sands educators attended an Avid training this past year, starting in the summer of 2021, attending Summer Digital XP, but also the free virtual seminars that Avid promotes, and they attended in after-school hours on their own time to extend their learning. 242 of our educators went to 3 summer institutes this summer, and that is huge to have that commitment. Out of those educators that went, it's really how we've moved forward in elementary. We have 98% of our elementary teachers at our Avid sites are Avid trained. And 52, this is a big number for our secondary, 52% of secondary teachers are Avid trained as we go school-wide. So that's a big number and to be celebrated, 10,275. So how did we get there, and what are we using to get there? Really, it's the Avid College and Career Readiness Framework, and this is where everything lives in Avid. Some would say that we live and breathe Avid at the district site team. And it really comes down to this: what do students need and what do educators do to provide it? And so if you look at that top triangle there, it's what students need. And what students need is multiple opportunities to master skills that allow them access to rigorous coursework, and then they also need opportunity knowledge. And Avid really promotes that, and we'll hear a little bit about that later on. But opportunity knowledge is really understanding and exploring careers and colleges and knowing that those doors are open. And none of it would be possible if we didn't help support building our students up and having them acquire their student agency, finding their own voice, and empowerment with confidence and perseverance in order to apply those skill sets to a rigorous curriculum. So what do educators do in order for that to happen for students? Well, we break down barriers, we align the work, and Desert Sand has done an amazing job aligning the work. And while we're doing that, we are insisting on rigor. But the one that I love the most in those bottom assets or collective educator agency is advocating for students. I think most educators come to school every day to advocate for our students, and Avid really puts that at the forefront. And it wouldn't be possible without sitting on top of that yellow triangle, which is relational capacity. We celebrate and support our students' every success and build those relationships so that students want to come to school. It's all made possible through the lens of the 4 domains, which is instruction, systems, leadership, and culture, which you see the triangle laying on top of. And all of these 4 domains is really how we rate ourselves, how we apply our goals. Our coordinators really work hard on the 4 domains and the indicators, just under 70 indicators that they concentrate on every year. And Kirsten Hill, one of our coordinators from Monroe Elementary, who is now at the district office, says this: whatever the school-wide goal might be, we cannot rely on just one domain on our campus to lift up that school goal. And that is so true with Avid. We can concentrate on an instructional goal, but unless you have the leadership to help push it forward and the systems in place to make it happen, and the culture of the school campus, educators and students and parents involved, then most of the time those goals don't happen for instruction. So we're really excited about how this has worked for us. This year, we took not a break from instruction. We still did our instructional walks, but we added a culture walk, which is a little bit different, where we went into all of our sites and looked from the lens of a student or from a parent, what is the school offering? And is it apparent? And is it messaged to them that the doors are open and these opportunities exist? And Palm Desert High School, we are going to celebrate them tonight because they took it to a whole nother level, as you'll see from these pictures. They really, from the start, when you walk into their campus, you see their capstone program. They have excellence in academics, activities, athletics, and arts, really reaching all students. And there you can see their A through G is highlighted throughout the campus. In addition to that, you can see all these pictures here. It's just all over the campus, and it's so exciting to walk through, and students really have commented every time I've gone to the school about how much they love their school. This is one thing that's amazing. In all of our 4 high schools, there is now a career counselor, and the career counselor has put together career centers. And this is April. She's at Palm Desert High School, and she's done an amazing job in that room. You can see on the wall there's pennants from universities and colleges all across the nation. She is letting students explore not only California schools, but letting them know that they can find the perfect fit for them as they continue their educational journey. She helps with applications and FAFSAs, and it's just amazing to go on the campus and see what they've done to lift up college and career readiness and awareness on their campus. So as Tech Pride, we are super proud of you, PD all in, and they do mean all. So then there's leadership. And leadership, we came off of receiving the Panda grant from Avid, where all of our secondary sites were supported and had the opportunity to bring 3 or 4 site members with them to really explore the domains and the tenets that go into educational equity, and what they can do to align our district goals and put those things into play, have the time to actually talk about them and look at their data and make some action plans. So we were really excited about that. And here's the 242. This is San Diego 1, our educators going to Summer Institute. And we really took advantage and leveraged the opportunity to have site team time as a district. We presented all of our district goals while we were there and really connected MTSS and that wheel and those components and allowed our site teams to really make the connections and feel good about the work that they were going to come in and do as we started our new year. So Avid Elementary implementation is a system. We've been doing this system for a few years, and we're super excited to celebrate our 8 schools from last year, that 6 of them went to certified. Now they're certified sites. We have our newly implemented Johnson and Carter, which will be certified by the end of this year. And we brought on 4 more elementary schools. We welcomed them into our Avid family: Carrillo Ranch, Andrew Jackson, Harry Truman, and Horizon School. So as we said, if we have leadership with a district strategic planning, coming up with a strategy that works across, and we can have like one of those high leverage best practices that we can really implement across the district and see the outcomes. 10-2-2 is a structure that Avid suggests for the way that we deliver our lessons. And so the way that we deliver our lessons is 10 minutes of instruction or input, and that's rigorous hard work that can be done independently, or it can be done with direct teaching. After that happens, you need time to process and talk to your partner. That's the way we all learn. We learn how to tie our shoes from talking it out or collaborating with the peer, right? And then we need 2 minutes of reflection so that we can reflect on our learning. What steps did we take? What was my point of confusion, and how did I overcome that? These steps can go in any order. And so we're super excited that this was delivered to our principals during their retreat. It's gone to our instructional coaches and our project facilitators, and we have created a water bottle sticker so that when we see it, we're going to award those teachers for putting that structure into place. And you have one of those water bottle stickers in your Avid binder, which is next on the list. So this is our take-home desk. And when I talk about equity, this is the one that really gets me choked up, right? Because we are removing barriers and providing opportunity knowledge, but we are also providing equity. So students in Avid Elementary, all of our students receive these supplies. You have the binders in front of you of actual student work with the successful scholar in the front of what it takes to be a successful student, and inside school work. Every student gets a binder that has tab dividers, pocket dividers with a pencil pouch and the supplies that they need to take that and go home and have everything that they need to be successful with their homework or iReady or looking at what their goals are. It also includes a site agenda. So the site agenda goes after the pencil pouch. There's an order. We are learning organization, and our Avid Elementaries really concentrate on organization in their first year. Site agendas are personalized in our district. We create them based on common language and horizontal and vertical articulation with teachers, where they have a voice in what goes into the agenda that they're going to be using with students to teach them backwards mapping and goal setting. And because of the hard work that we've done here in Desert Sands, we were recognized nationally and invited to go to the national conference in Dallas to present how we have used the agendas. We've leveraged them to strengthen our PLC process and our culture and climate on campuses. So 19,248 agendas were printed this year, right? And all thanks to our graphics department. We are super fortunate that we have graphics right in-house, and they moved mountains. Even with supply chain issues, they were still able to deliver agendas to all of our kiddos in elementary and middle school, and even our high schools are doing agendas this year. So Avid in numbers, you like those numbers. This is some Avid in numbers, our seniors. And this is super, super exciting. Thankfully, I printed it so that I can read it. You will see that there's a total number of 110 Avid seniors this past year. It is 128, but 110 took this survey. And out of this survey, you can see that the demographics of our Avid senior students are 43% English language learners, 76% of those students have parents that didn't graduate from college, and 89% are free and reduced lunch. And their outcomes this past year has been amazing. 81% of them applied to a four-year college or university, 76% were accepted, and 99% of our Avid seniors filled out their FAFSA. But look at this academic rigor, and look at that 100%. That 100% represents 100% of our Avid seniors graduated high school on time, with an average of 3.4 GPA. The 45% of them took dual enrollment, 75% took at least one course of rigor, and 89% of our Avid seniors completed four-year college entrance requirements. That is something to celebrate. Part of that is due to our Avid tutors who go in twice a week for electives, and they are back on campus. We trained them last week, and we have them ready to go face-to-face and doing tutorials back in session. Lastly, I'd just like to direct your attention to the tracker. This is a place where you can go and explore some of the domains. This is where all of our Avid site team meets. We meet 5 times a year, and this is really important and close to my heart because we have become a family. It's unlike any family I've known. There's no competition. When we meet, we talk about our district goals and how we're going to meet them, how we're going to surpass them. You can see the handbook there, and every site that is an Avid site has a link to their own page, and that's Indio High School's link right there, and their e-portfolio is updated every single year for their CCI, and within all of those indicators, you can explore whether it's focus notes, you can see videos, and you can see actual student work. Lastly, this is positive interdependence at its best. This is our team that comes together. When one site wins, we all win. They share absolutely everything. There is no competition and nothing that they won't do to help each other. Last but not least, we have a very special guest from Dr. Carrion. She is a 4th grader. I met her back when she was a 2nd grader, and she is coming up here right now. We're going to turn the mic over to her, and she is going to share a really big thing to celebrate and end our presentation for you tonight.
Hello, my name is Kayla Bonafidi. I'm a 4th grader at Dr. Carrion Academy. I'm an Avid ambassador, and I'm here to share that Dr. Carrion is now a showcase school and will be hosting an Avid National Showcase on November 9th. Exciting. In your binders, if you turn to the back, you have a 1-pager. We were chosen because of our organization with our binders and agendas. We also collaborate with our classmates, and we are also working hard on our writing skills. We are proud to be a college and career-focused elementary school. We are very excited for this opportunity. Thank you.
Khaleesi. Yeah, and I asked, and it's okay that we're like 30 seconds over, so you can do the Avid cheer that you want to do.
Oh, no, it's okay.
You're nervous? Yeah, which one do you want me to do? And I'll help you do it.
The great one.
The great one. Okay, so we're going to do the cheese grater. And the cheese grater is you hold your cheese and your grater. So you got your cheese in one hand, your grater's in the other. And we're going to do it towards Khaleesi because we're celebrating you and your school. And we're going to go great, great, great on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great, great, great. You did a fantastic job.
Oh, well, I thank you very much. Appreciate your time. If you have any questions, we're here to answer.
Ms. Pierce?
I love that, that presentation. It just shows so many aspects of Avid and how important it is to the kids. I mean, so many of them need the organizational skills. And with that as a foundation and then bringing forward to look forward to their future, like for college or career, because I always like to include career, that gives them that focus and something to strive for. I don't know who are Avid Tutors volunteers?
We actually have peer tutors and we have paid tutors. So our paid tutors, we hired 48 college students who are coming to tutor in our NB mentors in the classroom. Oh, right. And in addition to that, we have our juniors and seniors that are peer tutors. And so we're going to actually be training 86, I think it is, at Palm Desert High School in a couple weeks. So pretty exciting.
Okay, that sounds great. I remember, I think when I went to see when I went to see the mural get dedicated, I think that she was the little ambassador there with her jacket and everything. How do you say it? What's your first name? Kayla? Khaleesi. Yeah, so anyway, I just love when they have their little jackets on and they greet you at the door, and whether or not they have jackets on. I love going to the schools and they tell you, this is my teacher, this is what we're doing, can I help you, can I answer questions? It's so professional and sets the tone. But I love the numbers and seeing how many are the success that it's bringing. And I just really enjoyed the presentation, and I like my binder. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Porras.
Well, Carrie, I just love your passion for this program. And it's like, it almost makes me want to cry, because when I see the numbers and just how excited you are about everything, and it's amazing. I feel like I wish that I had this when I was a kid. And it's like, I feel like I need to take training and learn how to use this thing just in my daily life today, right? But I think it's wonderful for our kids, and I know that all of our schools are going to eventually have Avid, right? I mean, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
So, but anyway, I think it's wonderful because it really does put them on the trajectory for success in their life, forever. So anyway, thank you so much for this presentation. And I mean, national recognition, how wonderful is that? And Khaleesi, you did an excellent job. Excellent job. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. I have no questions. Thank you for the presentations, and thank you for Ambassador Khaleesi. You did a wonderful job. Thank you.
And I'd just like to thank the coordinators that came tonight, and also our program manager from the county, from RCOE. Amy Kincaid is here tonight to help celebrate the successes in Avid, and thank you so much for having us.
Great. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to item 14, public hearing. The board will now address matters related to the proposed formation of Community Facilities District number 2022-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District. So in reference to 14.1, conduct notice public hearing 2/2022-2023 regarding proposed CFD number 2022-1, the proposed levy of special taxes and the authorization of incurring bonded indebtedness within CFD number 2022-1 and related matters. This is a time and place designated for the public hearing regarding the formation of CFD number 2022-1 and the proposed levy of special taxes on the property within the proposed CFD. District staff have informed me that all notices and filings of the public hearing have been duly and timely completed and are on file at the district offices. The public hearing is now open at 7:52. Is there anyone present who wishes to speak for or against the proposed formation of CFD number 2022-1? Yes.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay? I'm Adrian Peters. I'm with LGI Homes. I'm happy to be here this evening, and I wanted to express my sincere gratitude to staff and the consultants who helped pull this together for us. I'm here to answer any questions that may arise, but I'm hoping for your affirmative vote this evening, and I'm looking forward to implementing this new project in Indio. So thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you. Okay, the district has not received any protests from the property owners relating to the formation of CFD number 2022-1, either prior to or during the public hearing. The public hearing is now closed at 7:54 p.m. Moving on to item 15, board and superintendent comments. Ms. Pierce.
I have none at this time.
Porras.
I attended the Riverside County Office of Education Arts Now Riverside County launch event with Courtney Franklin, who is our project facilitator. And thank you, Courtney, for driving me to Riverside. It was a great drive. And in case you don't know about Arts Now, I'm going to read their mission statement. We promote the right of the parent groups to advocate for the arts as an essential part of their children's K-12 education. We support the responsibility of school boards and leaders to make thoughtful funding choices about art education to comply with the California Arts Standard and Education Code. We encourage partnerships with arts organizations and providers to offer emotionally rich and culturally diverse resources. Anyway, I was excited to meet one of my favorite local artists, who is Tyson Knight. And I also got to meet our very own Palm Desert High School's Katie Zen, which is Riverside County's Teen Poet Laureate. And I swear, this girl, she's 17, I think, and she talks like she's 30 years old. But anyway, just amazing young woman, and I just see her going places. Anyway, I also participated in the Walk to School Day with Indio Middle School Principal Marcy Herrera, Adriana Fernandez, and Jan Diaz. And it was a beautiful day, and there was a great turnout. A lot of kids, walked safely. Even Indio Police Department was there kind of watching over us, so that was great. And then President Conover and I went to the college career fair at Agua Caliente Casino. It was a huge turnout. I actually felt claustrophobic in there because there were so many kids, it was insane, but it was great. There was a huge turnout. Got to visit Mr. Bebo and his class, and his daughter was in there. Well, not class, but presentation. We didn't wait for the presentation. We had to get out of there because it was just like so crowded. But it was a great presentation of everything. There were so many career opportunities, college opportunities for all of the kids in the Coachella Valley, and so it was a really great turnout. And that's it. Thank you.
I didn't get to attend some of these events in the last few weeks. I had been out of town with some family things, but I do remember the same night I wanted to go to the college and career, I attended the La Quinta State of the City event, and it was memorable with the Haboob sending us indoors, but it was very good to see the businesses some of them that were there that partner with us as a school district, and also some of their future capital improvements and building that's being forecasted for different areas that will affect some of our schools and our enrollment. So it was great to hear the upcoming news for the city there. Thank you.
Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm having microphone issues here. Sorry. Okay, there we go. It was falling down into the dais. So I want to just talk for a few minutes about October, which is National Bullying Prevention Month, for those of you that might not be aware of that fact, and quite frankly, something that we should be addressing every single month of the year, every day of the year, every week of the year, not just during October. But it is a time where we set aside as a nation a time to focus on learning about bullying and how we can prevent it. So to that end, there are activities happening all across our schools in Desert Sands where students have been participating in bullying prevention activities. So we're very, very glad about that. We really do believe that our schools are a place where diverse society learns how to come together and to unite around common values, and really a place in our schools where we can celebrate and appreciate each other's differences. However, we do know we have work to do in this area for that to become a reality for all students. And so to that end, recently, I wanted to share we were contacted about some concerns of racially related harassment and bullying, specifically as it relates to our African American students in Desert Sands. And I just want to publicly say that that is not okay. We are really working passionately to address this concern. We're working as a district really to identify any areas of inequity for our African American students or any other students. We're conducting cultural scans of our environment and identifying ways to better examine our culture and our climate at each and every one of our school sites. So as we progress through the month, I really ask you to join us, please. We are determined to ignite a strong movement around bullying prevention that ensures that every single student that enters any campus on Desert Sands feels safe and welcomed every day.
Thank you. I have no comments. Moving on to item number 16, public comment on open session items. I have a statement to read before I open up public comments. At code 7054, prohibiting political statements at board meetings. Excuse me. Pursuant to Education Code 7054, the district is prohibited from expending any resources directly or indirectly to urge the support or defeat of any ballot measure or candidate for elected office, including candidates for the Board of Education. This means that the district must ensure no funds, supplies, equipment, monetary expenses, or manpower are used or expended for political purposes. These rules are applied equally upon any and all candidates and incumbents. Accordingly, since holding a board meeting involves district resources for staff, utilities, etc., public comment at a board meeting shall not include any statement that may reasonably be construed as urging the support or defeat of any candidate for election or any ballot measure. I'm going to have Ms. Porras read our online comment. We do have one.
Board meeting online public comments, October 11th, 2022. Tricia Ryan, read aloud, yes. Good evening. I am not sure if you are aware, but a middle school administrator overdosed on a Bakersfield school campus on September 8th, 2022, after a 13-year-old brought a bag of what appeared to be a bag of candy, like sweet tarts. Actually was fentanyl. Thankfully, the campus had a full-time SRO who was able to give Narcan to the administrator. Narcan is a nasal spray that will save someone from overdosing, but will not hurt the individual if it is not an overdose. We have already lost SROs at many campuses, so we do need Narcan for the safety of all on all campuses. It is equivalent of having an AED. This is a safety matter for students and staff.
Thank you. Communications from the floor. In accordance with bylaws of the Board 9323, time is reserved for oral communications by members of the Board of Education or by citizens present. Citizens wishing to be heard on agenda items, regular or special meetings, and or non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Board, regular meetings only, shall have a 3-minute limit. In accordance with the law, the Board cannot take action on any item not appearing on the agenda as indicated in bylaws of the Board 9323.2. First up is Trina Gonzalez-Alisi.
Good evening, members of the Cabinet and the Board. I'm Trina Gonzalez-Alisi. I'm the Desert Sands Teachers Association President, and I would like to comment on agenda item 19.6, where later on this evening you will be voting on the tentative agreement between the district and the association. We held our ratification vote last week, and I'm happy to announce that there was a 95% approval rating of that tentative agreement. And I want to acknowledge the hard work of both of the teams that came to the table to work to get that agreement in place. I think that this agreement is going to make a lot of our staff feel very valued after several years, and including this year, where some of them don't feel as valued, and not from the district, but from the community at large, from parents, from students. So this will go a long way to help with that morale, I'm hoping. But I want to acknowledge, and I have before, just publicly acknowledge the professionalism and the respect that both teams have for each other when you come to the table. I'm not in the room personally, but I've heard from both of our teams that is something that we have established, and I'm very proud of that relationship. And I look forward to you voting yes on our tentative agreement and moving forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next is Catherine Silvera.
Good afternoon. First, I want to say thank you to our board and cabinet. Last board meeting, I spoke here about the need of an SLP at my school site and the service hours not being met. The board listened and the executive cabinet acted quickly, and that issue has been mostly resolved at my school site. So thank you, and I hope that it's being addressed at other school sites as well. I'm here to give an observation and maybe a new suggestion. As a teacher, I see, hear, and experience the negative effect when we are down a classified staff member at my school site. I have worked in classrooms where there are only half the paras present, and that obviously has a negative impact on our students. I've had classes completely unable to travel and come to my classroom because of the lack of manpower and paras to help support the students. Little learning can be done when this is happening. When transportation is down someone, we have kids late being picked up, dropped off, causing undue stress on the parents as well as the students. Too many field trips cannot be approved due to the lack of transportation. I've experienced personally and heard of completely ridiculous long lunch lines when sites are down a nutritional staff employee. Custodians, school site monitors, the list goes on. It is easy to say that a school is a student and a teacher. It is our classified school site staff. They are the superheroes. They are the inspiring role models for our students. Now, why are we down so many? That's probably a question for an economic expert. In the simplest terms that I can think of, low pay, limited hours, and the no room for professional growth probably all attribute to having not enough staff and substitutes. Whatever the reason why, we do see our students negatively impacted academically. It is a problem we cannot shrug and say, we're trying to find more, no one's applying. The most direct solutions, offering higher pay, opportunities, professional growth, adding more positions to decrease workload, and outwardly expressing our celebrating of these positions, which I hope that we as a district are all actively doing right now. We can also use our Valley's resources. Why not collaborate with College of the Desert to create a program for transportation students and early education students to help filter in those positions? We can train and recruit from our own Valley. We have UCR and San Bernardino State right here in our district boundaries to start collaborating with. The learning environment we provide for our students directly correlates to student success. The environment includes being properly staffed at all student support levels. We need to think outside the box and start to recruit more and increase retention for these wonderful superheroes and brave human beings. Thank you for your time listening.
Thank you. Next is Chase Coughlin.
Hi, I want to talk about how at my school I've started to notice in my classes this year and other years that most of the students in my classes, even have some teachers who no longer stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And there's a problem with that because when you're doing that, you're not standing for Trump or Biden or anyone in Congress. You're standing for the men and women that died in the wars. In World War II, over 420,000 soldiers were killed. We lost 7,000 soldiers in the Iraq and Afghanistan war. We lost 56,000 in Vietnam, yet we're only talking about how, oh, well, there's racial discrimination or there might be discrimination against gender. I don't think people realize how close we were to losing World War II. If we lost, we wouldn't have any of this racial discrimination. There'd be no gays, there'd be no blacks, there'd be none of these people. People wouldn't be able to go and complain that they got misgendered because they just get shot. If you didn't, in school, they're now having, at my school, the Feminist Club, not this week, but next week, is throwing a protesting the unfair treatment of girls in school for the dress code. What dress code? We don't have a dress code at our school. They say it's unfair that they chase us down for not for what we want to wear. Because 10 years ago, we had standards, we had morals and ethics, and we said, hey, you can't dress like you're going to the local nightclub while coming to school. They say we live in the hottest place in the country. Okay, I know the security guards, they wear long pants, long shirt underneath, and the vest in 110-degree heat. They're not complaining, but the feminist club's complaining because they are not being able to do whatever they want. And now, next week, they're going to stand out in front of the school at 9 in the morning, right when school starts, and demand that we change the dress code and cause a huge disruption with traffic. School is not for protesting. School is for getting work done and not being indoctrinated. You need to understand that you come to school to learn. If you want to go protest, here's an idea. Come to the board meetings and protest. We did it for months. It actually started working. And if you need somewhere else to protest, Go down on city council, go to other places, not at school.
Thank you. Nicholas Rose.
All righty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of cabinet. Nicholas Rose, Classified Union Chapter President. I just wanted to say hi to Dr. Vollmer and thank you for the listen and learn tours that we've been doing. We've been visiting campuses, getting to chat people up along with Trina. And so that's just been a really cool way for me because the last 2 years of COVID, not able to get out and about. So it's just been really cool to reconnect. I know that's kind of a theme that we have going on as a district right now of reconnecting. So I just wanted to kind of highlight and reiterate just that feeling out there of some of the folks, especially our office support staff, our paraeducators, of just feeling kind of spread thin, feeling a little unsupported. We had some negotiations last week, Dr. Hyde, Jordan, and the district's team. So those are some issues we're working on as far as our classified groups and just kind of acknowledging ways we can support them and do that in contract language. But there is still just that strain and that pressure of office support staff, classified staff, just feeling like they don't know what to do. You know, that there's students, and I know Laura and I and Charity, we've talked about some of our special ed kiddos that are coming in. A lot of our kindergartners, I know from our parent friends and kind of mom groups of like, you know, these kids, it's all new and they still don't know how to kind of be in school. So a lot of this is just wanting that support of training, of resources, of just kind of, you know, how do we help these kiddos get adjusted? Because they've also kind of missed 2 years of, you know, maybe they didn't go to preschool, maybe they weren't really doing digital or Zoom. And so we have some of these kindergarten and first graders who are just kind of dropped in, and it's just a scramble to kind of figure out what to do. A lot of our office staff are having to deal with maybe some first-time parents who, same thing, don't kind of know the routine or the tempo of how to interact. So just wanted to highlight and say, you know, thank you that, you know, I know our district is focused on it. I know we're working with our bargaining units, and it really is about providing those services for our parents, for our students, so that everybody can be successful and so that we can keep it moving forward. So I just wanted to say thank you, and you know, I've been enjoying spending time with Dr. Vollmer. I think it was an excellent pick for superintendent. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is Celeste Feeler.
Good evening. I just wanted to say thank you for mentioning the anti-bullying and how October was. I was coming here to say I haven't heard that yet. You guys know my personal story, so you know how important this month is to me and my family and you know, the community. There are a lot of children that are bullied, especially online. And I'm just requesting that we do see a lot of pink for breast cancer awareness in our schools, and you know, I think it's great. I think supporting those, you know, breast cancer awareness and all of those organizations is really good. But we also have Buddha bullying out here. I know you guys are aware. We have another one, Stand Up For Me, that is Ryan's foundation, that is hers. And the color for anti-bullying is actually blue. So at least one time during the month of October, if we could do something, you know, ribbons in blue, or football games, or something that, you know, is geared more towards the kids in our district rather than so much pink for breast cancer. And there's nothing against breast cancer. It's, I think kids relate a lot more to bullying, and we can attract them to that. So I was just coming here tonight to request if we can try and work on that, getting that, you know, that color for this month, blue. So, and that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is John Parker.
Good evening. I won't make it through all of this, so I'll post an extended version on parkwest.substack.com. Usually when I speak here, I prepare ahead of time, and then I post that on parkwest.substack.com. I'm sure I'm not the only one who sits here for the first part of the meeting, and here's a language spoken that is difficult to understand for a layperson. A lot of the acronyms and different programs, you're kind of speaking with each other, but I'm sure there are parents or other people that don't quite get exactly what you're talking about. As an example, I believe it was the last board meeting, you were recognizing teachers who helped implement DEI, the DEI agenda, which I'm sure there's funding attached to as well, in which you described that was a difficult accomplishment. I'd love to hear a further explanation about that. For those who don't know what that stands for, the current administration in Washington spelled it out by saying that we have implemented diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout the whole of government. At the end of this month, and this is kind of along the same line, but taking a left turn here, the CTA, California Teachers Association, is proud to present the 14th annual CTA conference, October 28th through 30th at Palm Springs, addressing LGBTQ+, and I'm going to get all these wrong, issues involving educators, students, and the community. This conference will be hosted in person and is open to all CTA members to address a number of issues. I'm going to go basically to the end because I won't make it. There's a number of different programs supporting your campus to provide brave and affirming spaces, transformative social, emotional learning. If you're a parent and listening to me talk about this, you might want to really dive into it and understand what these mean. As an example, the BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, People of Color, and LGBTQIA+. Anyway. The final one that I have here, and there's a whole 2 days worth, creating safe spaces for transgender nonconforming children, an early childhood program. The purpose of this is to teach educators, specifically Head Start. By the way, Head Start is from birth to age 5. LGBT issues at age 5. I mean, seriously, think about it objectively.
Thank you. And moving on to item 17, general functions, business services. In reference to item 17.1, resolution number 16, 2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District determining the validity of prior proceedings establishing Community Facilities District number 2022-1. Authorizing the levy of a special tax therein, establishing an appropriations limit, calling an election, and taking related actions. And in reference to item 17.2, resolution number 17/2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District determining the necessity to incur bonded indebtedness in an amount not to exceed an aggregate total of $2.5 million within Community Facilities District CFD number 2022-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, calling elections and taking related actions. The board will now consider adopting resolution number 16/2022-2023 and resolution number 17/2022-2023. Upon adoption of resolution number 16/2022-2023, CFD number 2022-1 will be formed, and this board will be acting as a legislative body of CFD number 2022-1 for the remaining matters being considered tonight relating to CFD numbers 2022-1. Pursuant to these resolutions, the election official for the CFD election is Jordan Aquino, Assistant Superintendent, Business Services. Mr. Aquino has informed me that the district has received all of the waivers from the landowners that are necessary to conduct the election. As such, by adopting resolution number 16/2022-2023 and resolution number 17/2022-2023, we can hold the CFD election tonight on a shortened time frame. Is there a motion to approve to adopt resolution number 16/2022-2023? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve to adopt resolution number 16/2022-2023. Is there any discussion? As this is a resolution, it calls for a roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I vote aye. This motion carries 3-0. Is there a motion to approve to adopt resolution number 17/2022-2023? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve to adopt resolution number 17/2022-2023. Is there any discussion? As this is a resolution, it calls for a roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I vote aye. This motion carries 3-0. We will now conduct the landowner voter election on behalf of CFD number 2022-1 and declare the election results. The district's legal counsel, Samuel Santana, has sent ballots out to the qualified landowner electors in CFD number 2022-1. The ballot has now been returned to the district, and it is time to open the ballot. Will the secretary to the board please open the ballot and announce the results of the election?
Yes, in reviewing the ballot, it appears that 2/3 of the votes have marked yes.
The record shows that at least 2/3 of the votes are in favor of the levy of the special taxes, incurrence of bonded indebtedness, and the establishment of the proportions limitations. We may now proceed with the final actions for CFD numbers 2022-1. Item 4, in reference to item 17.4, resolution number 18/2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District canvassing the results of the election held within Community Facilities District CFD numbers 2022-1. The board will now consider adoption of resolution 18/2022-2023, which resolution canvasses the results of the special election held within CFD number 2022-1. As noted previously, there were at least 2/3 of the votes cast in favor of levying the special taxes, incurred bonded indebtedness, and establishing the proportions limitations. By adopting this resolution, the board determines that the CFD election conducted within CFD number 2022-1 was validly conducted. Is there a motion to approve to adopt resolution number 18/2022-2023? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve to adopt resolution number 18/2022-2023. Is there any discussion? As this is a resolution, it calls for a roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I vote aye. This motion carries 3-0. In reference to item 17.5, first reading of the ordinance of Community Facilities District number 2022-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District authorizing the levy of special taxes within CFD number 2022-1. Tonight, we will conduct the first reading of an ordinance levying the special taxes in CFD number 2022-1. After its introduction, this ordinance will be considered for adoption at our next regularly scheduled meeting of the board. Is there a motion to read ordinance by title only? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 And aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. The motion is approved. Will the secretary to the board please present the first reading of the ordinance by reading the ordinance title only?
Yes, the title of the ordinance is Ordinance of Community Facilities District number 2022-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, authorizing the levy of special taxes within CFD number 2022-1.
Thank you. Copies of this ordinance are available at the district's business office for inspection by any interested member of the public. We will schedule the second reading and adoption of the ordinance for the regular board meeting to be held on October 25th, 2022. Matters related to the formation of CFD number 2022-1 scheduled for tonight are now complete. We will now continue with the rest of the regular board meeting. There are 4 items left in general functions, business services. Is there a motion to take items 17.6 to 17.9 as a group or individually?
So moved, Tricia Pierce.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded to take these items as a group. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Moving on to item 18, general functions, educational services. There is only one item in general function educational services. Is there a motion to approve item number 1, subaward agreement number C1008837 with Riverside County Superintendent of Schools?
So moved, Tricia Pierce.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded to approve item 18.1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Moving on to item 19, general functions personnel services. There are 6 items in general functions personnel services. Is there a motion to take items 19.1 through 19.6 as a group or individual? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to take these items as a group. Is there any discussion?
Yes, can you explain what the variable term waiver request means?
Certainly. The variable term waiver request is, it's a provision that the California Teacher Credentialing System, CTC, offers to educators who do not possess a CLAD credential yet, so an English language authorization. All of the ones that you're hopefully approving tonight are teachers that are new to CTE. They're career and technical educators. So these are folks that didn't go through a traditional kind of teacher prep program that I think many of us did here. And they're coming from industry. And so they're embarking on their teaching career, and they have, the waiver actually gives them 2 years to work on either their coursework that will grant them their English language authorization, or an assessment that they'll be able to take, which will also give them the English language authorization. So that's what that is. It's a supplemental waiver.
Good, that's great that that's available for them to have that time to do that. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I just want to say that I'm glad that our teachers are being recognized for what they're worth. They do a lot. They've been through a lot, and anyway, I'm glad that we come to a tentative agreement with DSUSD. I'm so happy to be.
I am glad to see the tentative agreement come to the board. And are there any other comments? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Item number 20, general function student support services. There are none. Item 21, general functions superintendent. There are none. Item 22, consent item student matters. Dr. Superintendent May Vollmer.
I knew who you meant. Listed under closed session 3.3, tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the following student matters. Item 22.1, reinstatement case number 19/20-48 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce. This carried 3-0 to the board accepted the recommendation of reinstatement. On item 22.2, stipulated expulsion case number 22/23-04 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce and carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Item 22.3, stipulated expulsion case number 22/23-05 on a motion made by Patricia Pierce and seconded by Linda Porras, and that carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Item 22.4, stipulated expulsion case number 22/23-06 on a motion made by Linda Porras, seconded by Patricia Pierce, and carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Item 22.5, stipulated expulsion case number 22/23-08 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce and carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order.
Thank you. Moving on to item 23, consent item business services. Dr. Woods has brought us 30 items and consent items business services.
You mean Mr. Aquino?
My bad. Mr. Aquino.
That was him last
That was you last time. That's right.
It's a competition, right?
It's like going back and forth. All right. Is there a motion to take items 23.1 to 23.30 as a group or individually?
I think we should do them individually. I'm joking. I move that we take it as a group.
I'll second that, Tricia Pierce.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to take these items as a group. Is there any discussion? I just want to say, again, it's always good to see the completion of projects. I do have a question about this change order, Mr. Aquino. What is the total amount? Again, I'm not a math major. What is the total amount of all those credits the district is receiving back?
So of the 30 items on the agenda for consent, we have about 5 of those items that contain credits, and those credits total approximately $247,000.
It's always nice to complete and always nice to get money back that has been pledged to those, and it liberates some of that money. Okay. I did see there was quite a bit of clubs as well. That is a wide variety of clubs. Awesome. Is there any other comments or discussion?
How do I join the tabletop gaming club, and is blackjack included? No, I'm kidding.
Any other comments? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Okay, moving on to item 24, consent items, educational services. There are 7 items in consent items, educational services. Is there a motion to take items 24.1 through 24.7 as a group or individually? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to take these items as a group. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to say that when Anna and I went to Monterey, we actually saw the schoolyard wrap gentleman, and it was amazing, and he just got the whole room going, and so it's great to be able to teach kids, with that venue. So anyway, it's really great that we actually brought it here. So anyway, super excited about that.
And I always like to see where the Anderson Children's Foundation is able to help our schools in a partnership, and anytime we get a grant there, it's just wonderful.
Any other comments? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Moving on to item 25, consent items, personnel services. There are none. Item 26, consent items, student support services. There are 4 items in consent items, student support services. Is there a motion to take items 26.1 through 26.4 as a group or individually?
I move to take them as 26.1 to 4 as a group.
It has been moved and seconded to take these as a group. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Moving on to item 27, consent item, superintendent. There are none. Item 28, personnel actions, certificated. Dr. Hyde, do you have any items?
I do. I actually have a blind appointment recommendation. Under 28.1, certificated personnel, agenda item number 14 on page 2. We are very pleased to recommend the appointment of Nancy Velador to the position of Coordinator of Multilingual Learner Programs and Educational Services.
Thank you. Okay, item 28.1, certificated personnel. Is there a motion to approve item 28.1, certificated personnel? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve item 28.1. Is there any discussion?
Any retired?
Not in certificated.
Any other comments? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Moving on to item 29, personnel actions classified. Dr. Hyde, do you have any items?
Actually, I do. I have, again, some blind appointment recommendations, and I do have retirement to announce. Under agenda item 29.1, classified personnel, agenda item specifically number 15 and 16 on page 2, we are pleased to recommend the appointment of Joshua Howitt to the position of mental health therapist. We are also excited to announce or recommend Danielle Juarez to the position of Site Manager, Nutrition Services.
Thank you. Moving on, 29.1. Is there a motion to approve item 29.1, classified personnel? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve item 29.1, classified personnel. Is there any discussion?
I just have to say Danielle Juarez, I've known her since she was about 5 years old. And she's like a niece to me. She's not my niece, but she's like a niece to me. And I'm just so excited for her. And congratulations, Danielle. I'm just super excited for you.
There was a retirement, Dr. Hyde?
Yes, President Conover, I have one retirement. Mary Lou Arbuzu, who is a community technician bilingual, is retiring after 16 years of service, and her last assignment was in the Early Child Education Center.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries 3-0. Item 30, call out of closed session actions. Dr. May Bolmer.
Yes, we have two. Tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve item 3.4, General Release and Settlement Agreement SSS number 06/2022-2023 on a motion made by Linda Porras, seconded by Patricia Pierce. The motion carried 3-0. Item 3.5, General Release and Settlement Agreement SSS number 07/2022-2023 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce. The motion carried 3-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item 31, suggestions for future agendas that receive at least 3 votes. Ms. Pierce?
I have none.
Ms. Porras?
I have none, but I just want to bring up one thing about the need for security guards at our elementary schools. And do you guys have a status on that? I just would like to know what that status is on.
Yes, absolutely. We're actually in the hiring process, the recruitment and hiring process. So we've designed a plan where we're implementing and offering it to our existing bargaining unit members for transfer opportunities. Then we will be actively advertising, which we are now, and then we'll interview folks as they come in, and we're doing them in groups of schools.
And can you please give us an update on what the district is doing regarding fentanyl concerns?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd actually like to have Assistant Superintendent Laura Fisher respond as it pertains to the Narcan on sites, and then I'd also like to have Dr. Wood respond with some educational opportunities for our students.
Absolutely. We have a plan put in place. Our lead nurse, Susan Cadle, has already applied and received the standing order, which is where we have to start to receive Narcan. It has been ordered. It usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks. In the meantime, we've developed the forms that have to be in place in regards to training volunteers, how it's to be used, and those will be going to graphic services in regards to a very nice flow chart, and also what is completed if Narcan is used either on a student or staff member at a site. So we have all that in place, along with ordering the Narcan medication itself, is the containers that will go inside the AEDs, because if a person is suspected of having an overdose, the AED and the Narcan go together, because both have to be used. So the Narcan will actually be stored inside the AED. And the volunteers that will train at each school site will know exactly what next steps to take. And again, as it's been said, if you give a Narcan and it's not necessarily what's needed, it does not harm the person, but it is absolutely life-saving. We also already have a contract and MOU with Riverside University Behavioral Health who provides training for both parents and students. I just had one of our SAP counselors provide the information for me today on exactly what they can do and what they already have in place for training both at the school sites and for any parents that are interested. So that should be wrapped up, everything together, and as soon as we get the Narcan, they will be placed at every site.
Yeah, in terms of education, our project facilitators in science, in conjunction actually with one of our technology project facilitators, have created some interactive lessons on awareness with fentanyl that will be pushed out through all science classes. And those have been developed, and through the upcoming professional development that's already in planned and scheduled, they'll be doing it at that time.
So if you can just give us an update on that as it moves on. Okay. Item 32, announcements. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education is October 25th, 2022, in the District Education Center Boardroom, 47950 Dune Palms Road, La Quinta, California. Reconvene to closed session if needed. Item 33, we do not need to reconvene. Adjournment. Item 34, this meeting is adjourned at 8:41 p.m. Thank you.